My roommate donated my 20-year vinyl collection, so I bought every record in the whole store. I was gone for 2 weeks visiting family, and before I left, I told my roommate Kara not to touch my vinyl cabinet. It held the collection I'd built for almost 20 years, including a few records from my dad, so it wasn't just stuff to me. I got home late, turned on the light, and the cabinet was open and empty. No sleeves, no jackets, nothing at all. I checked closets and under the couch, like maybe I was confused, but it was really gone. Kara walked in wearing gym clothes and said, like it was good news, "Oh, you're back. I helped us out." I asked, "Where are my records?" She pointed at the living room corner, now packed with yoga mats and a little crystal display. "Those old things took up so much space," she said. "I donated them. We needed room." I said, "You donated my stuff without asking?" She shrugged. "You can stream everything now. Spotify, Apple Music. I saved you from becoming a hoarder." When I told her some were worth real money, she rolled her eyes. "Everyone thinks their junk is worth thousands. Move on." My face felt hot, but I forced myself to stay calm and think. I grabbed my keys, opened my notes app, and started calling places right there. Thrift stores, pawn shops, used music shops, donation centers, anything within a 30-minute drive. Most people said no. One guy told me, "Try Goodwill." So I drove across town like my life depended on it. My stomach stayed tight the whole ride. At Goodwill, I asked the cashier if a young woman had donated boxes of records yesterday. She smiled right away. "Oh yeah," she was proud. Said she was decluttering and her roommate was a pack rat. My stomach dropped. She pointed toward the back where big plastic bins were being sorted, and I could actually see albums mixed in. I asked if I could buy back my box. The manager came out and said, "We can't do that." Then he said, "Donations have to be processed and priced first." Then he said, "Some might even get sent to other stores." I looked at the bins and pictured my dad's records getting split up for $2 each. I asked, "So what can I buy right now?" He said, "Anything on the floor." I took a breath and said, "Okay, then I want every record you have on the floor. All of them." The cashier blinked and went, "Every single one?" I said, "Yep." They walked me around while I cleared shelves and crates. Jazz, country, Christmas, kids music, weird workout albums, old speeches, all of it. Cart after cart until people started staring. At the register, the total was a little over $800. My card went through, and I felt this angry relief because now nothing could leave without it going through me first. I made 4 trips in my Honda Civic, loading milk crates until my hands hurt. By the time I carried the last load upstairs, the living room was buried. Crates on the floor, stacks on the couch, piles along the walls. Kara's precious meditation corner was completely blocked. She came home from yoga, opened the door, and froze. "What is all this?" she shouted. "We don't have space." I kept stacking without looking at her. She stepped over a tower of albums and snapped, "Move them! This is insane!" I finally said, "You donated my collection, so I paid for this one, and it's mine." She pointed at her corner. "My crystals are back there. My mat is back there." I said, "Yeah, and my records were headed to the shelves for $2. So now we're both learning what no permission feels like." She reached for a stack to clear a path. I put my hand on the crate and said, "Calm, don't touch my records." She snapped, "You're being petty." I said, "No, I'm being careful. And you already proved you can't be trusted with my stuff." She called me dramatic again. I reminded her she was the one who emptied a cabinet that wasn't hers. That night, she stomped around, slamming doors, while I stayed up sorting. I lined albums into tight rows and packed the stacks closer, so there was basically no empty space left to make room for anything. In the morning, Kara walked out, saw the organized walls of vinyl, and just stared. She couldn't reach her oils. She couldn't reach her cushions. She couldn't even open the closet without dragging out a heavy crate. She said through her teeth, "Fix this." I said, "I am fixing what you did." She tried to shove a row aside anyway, and I stepped in front of it. "Stop. If you touch my collection, you're doing the same thing again." She stared at me for a long second, then stormed into her room and slammed the door. A few hours later, she came out with boxes and bags, squeezing past the stacks like she was walking through a maze. At the door, she said, "I can't live like this." I just nodded. She walked out, the door clicked shut, and the first thing I heard in the quiet was the soft slide.